Welcome to the 10-Minute Mind Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Janet Cagle, certified life coach, weight loss coach, and lover of all things related to upleveling my life and yours. My goal is to help you get one step closer to your goal, whatever it is. My goal is not to keep you wrapped up in self-help all day, just 10 minutes. And who doesn't have 10 minutes, right? Welcome back, my friends. This is episode number 101, and we are getting ready to create our best year ever. There is something magical that happens when you set your intention to have the best experience ever, and designing and creating the best year ever is no different. This year, I want you to have all the tools that you need in order to create your best year ever. I'm going to give you step by step exactly what I do every year, and it's what I've been doing for years and years, maybe 20 years or so now. This is what I continue to study and refine and dial in order to create the life of my heart's desire, a life by design. It's all intentional, folks. I started this whole journey because I was tired of feeling like life was just happening to me. One day, as I was sitting on my couch, eating Cheetos, drinking beer, and watching Entertainment Tonight, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Everything I was doing in that moment had nothing to do with anything that I wanted to create. In fact, the way I was living day to day was a contradiction to the outcomes my heart desired. Everything I was doing in that moment had a net negative effect on my life. I was eating food that did not fuel me, drinking calories that did not nourish me, and feeding my brain full of nothing that energized me. I was making someone else's dream come true by consuming their entertainment and consuming the commercial foods designed to keep me craving more instead of craving my own heart's desire. I remember thinking that I thought my life would somehow be different, and yet there I was. I thought I would be happier. I thought I would be further along in my career. I thought marriage would be different. I thought being a mom would be different. I thought being a woman on this earth would be different than what I was living and experiencing. I felt a little duped and powerless to do anything about it. So that is what got all this started for me. And if you know what I'm talking about, then stay plugged in and let's make this year different for you. In fact, let's de-dupe your life and make this the life that you have always dreamed of. We can do it. You can do it. When I publish this, it's going to be mid-December, and it's the time of year that most of us set goals or intentions and even resolutions for the year. And for most of us, all of our goals and intentions and resolutions are a distant memory by March. And for sure, by June, it's kind of like, what goals, what intentions, what resolution? Did I really think this year would be different? What was I thinking? Anyway, I want this year to be different for you. And if you've been a longtime follower like my friend Becky, and you have been applying some of this stuff already, hang with me. All of this will next level what you are already doing. All right, let's dive right in. I start each year doing a year in review. And if you have my weekly planner, you know that there is a section in the planner to do a week in review. It's so important to give your brain that hit of dopamine and hit the reward center of your brain. And that little exercise, my friend, is how you do it. Today, I want you to focus on the year in review because it actually helps you set up the year ahead of you. And you'll see how that works when we wrap it up in the end. All right, step one, I want you to make a list of all of the things that you accomplished, created, invited, attracted into your life this year, regardless of whether or not it was a goal that you had written down. Now, I will tell you, this will be super easy for you if you've been using my weekly planner and you've been doing a week in review. You simply just have to go through that. But if not, no worries. Just go month by month and give it some thought and write it all down. Do not skip this step. It is mission critical. So as an example, I attracted a new trainer into my life. It wasn't a New Year's resolution, but it happened. A goal that I added mid-year was to earn a bronze in Western dressage. That goes on the list. I didn't have a money goal this year, but I attracted and created more wealth. I'm writing it down. I had a goal of a beach vacation with my daughter and son-in-law and the grandkids. That goes on the list. It happened. really put some thought into this and give yourself credit for all of the things that you accomplished and created, invited, and attracted into your life, regardless of whether it was a goal and intentional. All right, step 2. Go back through your list and really think about that accomplishment, achievement, or what you created. And then I want you to write down the emotion that comes up for you. When you think about this goal or accomplishment or result, how do you feel? Really spend some time this week and go over this for the next couple of weeks, doing this for each accomplishment one by one. Each accomplishment deserves a visit and really feel it into your body. What did it feel like? So for example, when I think about the trainer that I'm working with now, I feel safe. I feel safe with her. I feel like Dutch is safe with her. I feel challenged by her as well, but mostly I feel safe. When I think about earning my bronze medal in Western Dressage this year, I'm not going to lie, I feel pretty badass, if that's even emotion. I feel connected. I feel honored and privileged to ride him. It's not lost on me at all that I get to do what hundreds of thousands of other women wish that they can do. So I feel so grateful. See what comes up for you as you go through your list about your things. Do this with every single item on your list. Really dedicate and invest some time in this area. This is going to be an important one for creating your outcomes for next year. All right, step 3. Now, go through your list and circle the things that you want to create, invite, and attract or accomplish going into next year. So, for example, maybe you accomplished a fitness goal. Maybe you want to next level it for next year. Maybe you created a money result and you want to do it again this year. Just circle or note what you want to make happen again going into next year. Now, this is the not so fun part, but this is where all of the learning happens. So I want you to keep going. Step 4. Make a list of all of the things you intended to create, invite, and attract and accomplish, but didn't. List all of the things without judging them. Just list them all. Once you've done that, go on to step 5. Now, this is tricky, but don't skip this one either. I want you to go down the list of goals that were missed or fails, and I want you to think how you felt in pursuit of that goal. Not how you feel now about not hitting your goal, but how did you feel in pursuit of that goal on the journey? Really be honest here and think about the journey and how did it feel. So for example, one of my goals was to master level 1 test 3 in dressage. Now it sounds like we're going backwards since we always got our second level score for bronze, but I wanted to go back and fill in some of the training holes for me in Dutch. And so I wanted to master that test like a pro. I wanted to qualify for regionals at that level. I wanted to qualify or get my qualifying scores for musical freestyles at that level. Listen, people, I failed all of it miserably. I didn't hit any of my scores, not even one time, not even close. When I think about how I felt when I failed, those emotions were humiliation, embarrassment, frustration. Your brain will throw you the emotions of how it feels now to have failed or how it felt then to have failed. But what I want you to focus on is the pursuit of the goal. What did the journey feel like? The emotions that I was feeling was entitled. And if I'm being honest, arrogant. I felt like this should be easy. I felt disparaged and belittled on this journey as well. And it's really important to understand the emotions that were on the journey as you experienced the journey, because that, my friend, was the fuel for the action that you took. That was the fuel for the action that I took. When I was feeling arrogant and disparaged and belittled and entitled, it's no wonder I failed. Those are very low vibrational and low octane fuel sources. When I think about some of the thoughts I had, one of the stallmates near me did her test before me and she got a really low score. And I had the thought, now this isn't very flattering, but I'm just being real here. I had the thought, how on earth does that happen? Well, I found out exactly how that happened. My score ended up being far worse. When I think about how I allowed myself to be intimidated on this journey, it's no wonder that I failed. Listen, I am not proud of the way I showed up on my journey at all. And so I want to share my learning with you so you can have a different experience on your journey without the pitfalls. You don't have to experience your event like that. And this part is so important because what we were fueling our journey with is what drove our action or inaction, and that is what created the result. So don't skip that part. All right, step 6. We already know we created a fail as a result of the emotion, but what were the actions and inactions that you took as a result? Really think about that. This is where it's super important to be honest with yourself and go there. This is where you own your result. As much as I would love to blame someone else for my fails this year, I have to own it, all of it. And you do too. Not my husband, not kiddos, not boss, not coworker, not trainer. What was the action or inaction that created your result? Step 6, go through the list of results and fails and circle anything on that list that you have intentions for next year. This isn't the final step in the goal setting process. We're going to talk about committing to your goal, but right now, from your list of results and fails and attempts, what do you want to make happen next year? All right, step 7. For each goal that you have identified for next year, really sit with the result. Feel what you think it will feel like to be on that journey and feel what it will feel like to hit your target. Pro tip, these may feel like 2 different emotions, and that's okay. We will sort it all out. For now, do you see how you've already created a list of accomplishments for next year? Doing a year in review is a great way to kick off your goal setting and goal getting mood. A year in review is a great place to start having a best year ever. But of course, there is a lot more to it. So keep tuning in and let me support you. And I want to remind you of my 6-week Life by Design Bootcamp. Listen, it's only $47 and it's for a lifetime. At the end of the boot camp, you can expect to have a blueprint, a framework, and build a plan for your very own life by design. This boot camp has been a game changer for so many of my listeners. And why this is a no-brainer? You get lifetime access, and that includes any updates of new material that I add, and I do. All right, my friends, you have a list to make and a year in review to do. So this is what I have for you this week. Now, go have the best day ever. That's a wrap. I hope that you were able to experience a mind shift of your own today. Listen, if you loved this podcast, you should totally check out my Life by Design 6-week bootcamp. It's a work at your own pace workshop and something that you can do over and over and over again to uplevel your results and get ready for a transformation at the speed of life.